Hey, good evening, Harvest. We are so glad you could tune in with us tonight here for our Wednesday night Bible study, and I pray that you've had a great week. Obviously, our pastor's not here tonight as he's away this week on vacation, so we just ask that you continue to pray for him. But in just a few moments, we are going to do something a little different. I want to give you a live on the scene interview here with some of our food bank people. It is one of the greatest opportunities we've had during this COVID season to reach out and to love on our community, and it takes a lot of people to make that happen. And while I could sit here and tell you stories and what it means to me, I think it's so much better to be able to hear from them hands-on. So today we went, and while the food bank was going on, had some interviews there. So you're going to see it. You're going to hear a lot of background noise because we obviously couldn't stop the food bank to do these things, but you'll see some kind of behind the scenes shots there and meet and hear from some of the hearts of some of our most faithful workers. So that's in just a moment. But before then, we obviously want to have a time of prayer to go through with some of the prayer list with you, as well as to remind you of a couple things. So before we jump into the prayer list, and if you have prayer requests, you can put them on the comments below. But before we jump to our prayer list tonight, I wanted to remind you about our site, hbcburlington.com/live. This is a great one-stop shop for all your needs that you need during this season. Whether it's just streaming on Sundays, this has all our platforms on there. Or if you wanted to donate or give, the perfect place for you to tithe, you can go to that site and you can hit the donate button. And when you do, it's going to take you to our secured site so you can give and tithe there. That makes it super easy. As well as maybe you missed this past Sunday service or some of the ones from before and you want to go back and watch them. If you go over here and hit our YouTube button, it's going to take you to our very own YouTube page, and you're going to be able to see all the different sermons and things like that we've had from the weeks past. So hbcburlington.com/live is a great place to go to be able to tithe, to go to our YouTube page. There's a link on there for our Facebook page, our kids, our youth. It's just a great opportunity for you to be able to connect with us. So let's go to our prayer list tonight. As always, we have some on there that are just in need of prayer. And if you have prayer requests, please send them to us so our staff can pray for you during the week. Eddie Underwood, who as many of you know and you've been praying for, who's been in for surgery, and he's had some complications which have caused him to go back and forth from that. He is home and recovering, but he has a little recovery ahead of him, so I know he would appreciate if you would pray for him. Ann Hogan, who has been through so much. She is still at ARMC right now, and as soon as she is ready, they're going to move her over to her physical therapy and things like that. So keep Ann in your prayers. And then Steve Adlett, his mother passed away this past week. And as many of you know, this is a tough season. It's tough, as always, to lose a loved one, but especially during this COVID season. So lift up Steve. And then so many more. Zella Parker and some of her family who's had some health issues. Mary Bean, who has. Lift these people up in your prayer. Also pray for our church as we continue to strive to try to be as creative as we can in our opportunities to love on our community, especially during this season. For our pastor who is away right now, but that God would just fill his tank as he comes back and continues to lead us. For our church staff, our volunteers, so many people who do so much around this church. Just lift this church up in prayer. We want to be a church that is active during this season, and we're asking God to continue to give us opportunities to serve. So let's go to him in prayer right now, and then I'm going to take you over to the food bank and let you hear from some of our workers. Father God, Lord, we are so thankful for everything you've done for us. Even, Lord, for this tonight, for being able to come here, to get online and just to have a time of prayer and encouragement. Lord, we are thankful for that. Lord, for these requests, for Eddie, God, for Ann, for Zella, God, for Steve and his family, Lord, and on and on and on. There are so many on our list that at times seem overwhelming to us, but we know that they're not overwhelming to you. And so, Lord, we just bring these to you. God, we lift our pastor up to you, our staff here at church, our leadership, as you continue to guide us through this season, Lord. And we just want to be led by you. Every step we take, every opportunity that is in front of us, we want it to be led by you, Lord. So continue to give us wisdom to guide, lead, and direct us. And Lord, for this time tonight, we are so thankful for the volunteers and workers who make Harvest such a special place. God, every testimony we hear tonight, I pray it would be an encouragement not only to us, but to those that are serving. And Lord, we'll give you the honor and glory for it in Jesus' name. Amen. So every Wednesday, beginning at really 6 o'clock in the morning, we have people lining up on the property in need of food. And we have some of the most faithful workers who come and serve, many of them behind the scenes that you would never know, to make that happen. And we wanted to share that with you tonight. So let's go over to the Lighthouse and let's check in on the food bank. Hey, you guys. So like I said before, we are going to take some time tonight to really celebrate the incredible workers God's put here at Harvest, and focusing on food bank, but you're going to see that a lot of our food bank workers really are spread out and do a lot of things here at the church. So beside me we have Tom Garrett, which if you are part of the Harvest family, I'm sure he is not a stranger to you, him and his wife Janice. But Tom, you guys really do a lot here at the church. Let's go through the list. So before the shutdown, you were doing the choir.
Yes.
That was always, you guys were a big part of that. And then children's ministry. I mean, I've seen you literally do everything in children's ministry, from VBS to dressing up in the lobby and welcoming kids and being different characters. But on Wednesday nights this past year, you and Janice had a special role. Who were you on Wednesday nights?
I was Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze. And who was Janice?
And Janice was Lava Girl. Lava Girl. Yeah.
Lava Girl,
right.
And Mr. Freeze. And really, I mean, you guys, y'all just do anything that's needed there at the church. Why is it so important for you guys to be involved here at Harvest?
Well, if I said I was starved for attention, would that work? No.
That might work.
I think when we first started here, we received so much, and we were kind of just out there, taking it all in, enjoying so much. And after about a year, there was a need for a kindergarten teacher, who knew that I would ever do something like that. I didn't even like my own children, I've said before. But it was just a great experience, and we just loved it. It's nothing like walking into Walmart and having one of those children grab you around the leg, you know. And
which, I mean, doesn't happen much anymore, right?
No, but I once in a while.
Yeah. It is, because you make you pour your heart and soul into it, and then when you can see just a little nugget of payoff
right.
with that, it's really cool. But food bank is a different animal than children's ministry. Right. How did you get involved in the food bank?
It was one day preacher was gone, and you did the service, and you were kind of making an appeal, and I thought, well, it's time to see what else I can do, and I had some time. And so that started one Wednesday with Alan Philgo. He took, or one Monday actually, Alan Philgo took me over to Food Line at Whitsett to show me the ropes on picking up. And I don't know, how long has that been?
I was going to say, how
long has Alan been gone?
That's been quite a few years, man. Yeah. And you know, Alan was key in getting this food bank ministry off the ground and rolling. It had started before him, but he really dug in and took ownership of that. And so you got locked in there, and what has been your experience so far? I mean, to stick with it that long, what makes the food bank ministry so special to you?
Well, I say sometimes I almost feel guilty because I feel like I get more out of it than I'm giving. It's hard sometimes when you talk about giving food week in and week out, and oftentimes we see faces. You know, similar faces over the month. Yeah. But we keep reminding ourselves that we're doing God's work. We're not doing it for them. We're doing it for Him. And it just makes it a joy.
Yeah,
that's all.
It does, and I think part of that, getting to see people, and you do see familiar faces, you know, and you get to know some of those that are coming through.
Right, and most of them are so appreciative. You know, I just think, I just can't believe how appreciative they are and how much they make you know it. They let you know it.
Well, one of our key focuses here at Harvest is to be multi-generational. You know, if you come in on a Sunday, I mean, literally from the kids department through our youth, through our young adults, even to our fourth quarter ministry with our senior saints, we really strive to be a multi-generational church, and not just in who comes to church, but who serves at church. Talk to me about the multi-generational aspect of it here in the food pantry that you've seen, just meaning the different ages that are working here and whatnot.
Most all of us have been senior saints, to use a church word here.
Right.
But until the COVID, and now we have all these young people, which we could not have done without. I mean, it's just been fantastic. We've had other people like Deanne come out and start, and we have a lot of other adults, parents of these young people, and some not. But it just filled in for the guys that and the ladies who probably didn't need to be out in this. You know, they're older than me. Definitely,
and it's been cool. I'm glad you said families, because we do have probably 3 or 4 families that the whole families are coming out serving together, which to me is just really cool to see parents and their kids doing it together, and I think it makes such a lifelong impact. And you bring a partner every week. Who do you bring with you?
I bring my grandson Cole.
Yeah.
And I have brought some of my other grandchildren when they were here, but and I even on occasion bring my wife if she gets a day off.
Yeah.
And she'll soon be, September 15th, her last day at work, and she'll be coming on Wednesdays then too, and helping me out, showing me what I've been doing wrong.
That's exactly right. She's gonna whip you into shape in here. Why is it so important to bring Cole? Why do you do that?
You gotta stay with them. You gotta stay with them. You just gotta keep reminding them.
And there is no better way than hands-on.
That's right.
You know, it's one thing to tell your young people that there are people that are less fortunate, or people that aren't blessed the way you are. But when they can come out here, I think, and see that in action, and then see how they can be a part of it, you know, that's a really cool thing to do. So, well, Tom, we appreciate you. We love you, man, you and Janice both. And I know y'all are just a part of a bigger thing here.
Absolutely.
And there's been so many people, and you're going to see some of the other ones throughout this video tonight. But we just wanted to say thank you, man. Thank you for being a part of it and doing what you do.
It's a joy.
All right, man.
Thank you. All right.
All right, you guys. So I want to introduce you to Don here. And again, probably if you've been at Harvest a while, you probably know Don, but you do a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, because like on Sunday mornings, you're up top in what we call the crow's nest. So you go in there and you run the PowerPoint. Anything we see on the screen on Sunday mornings runs through you first, right?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. So it's no surprise to me that you would be here hands-on in the food bank working, but how long have you been at Harvest?
Since 97.
97. So you've been here for a long time.
23 years.
You got a lot of dirt on preacher, right? You got stories, because you live in his neighborhood too, right? Yeah.
I live 2 doors from him.
Oh, man. So if you want the dirt on preacher, go see Don. But look, the food bank, since this COVID season has happened, we've had so many new people that had to come in and help fill the gap. And you've been one of them. How did you get involved in the food bank?
Well, I've been picking up food for about 4 or 5 years from Food Line, so it's just kind of a natural progression.
Yeah, so by picking it up, you mean you would go let them load up your truck, bring it over here?
Yeah, I go load up the truck, bring it over here, unload it, pack it, weigh it, put it away.
Yeah, and it goes out, and again, behind the scenes. I mean, that's what you do, right? You just jump in and do so much. But then it carried over, and now you're out front and you're loading cars up. So you've gone from kind of being behind the scenes, putting it in the building, to now you're right out there with them and putting it in the cars. What's that been like?
Hot.
Yeah. It has been hot.
It's hot and sweaty, but it's okay.
Yeah, and have you enjoyed that? Being able to serve people and be with them. What's been probably the biggest thing you've gotten out of it, just in general?
The biggest thing I've gotten out is my son got involved.
All right, now tell us
He
about
comes
that.
too. Well,
So it's a tag team. You and your son come together. And how old is he?
he's 46.
Okay. Yeah, so 46. And you and him come together. I see y'all. Y'all stroll up together. Y'all leave together. What's that been like serving with him?
It's been great. It's been great seeing him get involved, helping the Lord.
Yeah, and not many parents get that opportunity, to do that hands-on and not only kind of say to your kids, no matter what age, how to be involved and serve the Lord, but be able to do it hands-on, side by side.
Yeah.
And I think he's enjoyed it too, man.
Absolutely.
He looks like he's had a great time out there.
Absolutely.
Well, you've been awesome. Thank you for all you do, not just on Sunday mornings, but Wednesdays and everything else out here at the food bank. And you and your son have been a blessing. You guys see Don, make sure you thank him. I know he'd appreciate that.
All
right. But, man, Deanne Cobb, who is here with us, and you do so much at the church, right? And it's probably a scary thing. Some of you watching right now, just seeing me and Dee up here together, who are old-timers at the church, couldn't believe that we'd ever be the ones in here leading some things.
That's true.
Doing some things.
It's a little scary.
You have so many roles, so let's just go through them.
All right.
You run our learning center.
Yes.
Right, so that's our Monday through Friday preschool.
And kindergarten.
So 2-year-olds all the way up to kindergarten.
2-year-olds all the way through kindergarten. We have an average of about 150 students a year, and we are growing by leaps and bounds. We don't do a lot of advertising, as you know, so most of ours is word of mouth, which is a fantastic referral way. But a lot of people don't know us. I know your dad, when he ran it, he used to call us the best kept secret in Alamance County, because not many people did know about us, but we were always full. And that's kind of where we're at now. We are super full, and really, if anybody is interested in getting involved in it, we are looking for a few good teachers, especially a couple of kindergarten teachers, so we can grow that program currently.
Yeah, because, obviously with Plan C being in action here locally, that really changed the ball game for a lot of parents out there. I know it changed it for us and our family.
Absolutely.
But we really saw our kindergarten program blow up. So I know you're hiring for kindergarten, so if you're interested in that, what's your email address? The best way they can email you?
The best way you can email me is Deann, DEEANN, at hbclearningcenter.com.
hbclearningcenter.com. And even if you know somebody, feel free to pass that along, have them email Deann. It's really a great family they got out there working together. We were able, because of just the faithfulness of our parents and our families this past year when everything shut down, we were able to continue to pay our teachers so they didn't miss a paycheck. And in return, it was really cool because a lot of those teachers were here serving. Working in the food bank during the summer and things like that.
They came and gave back wholeheartedly and without any question at all. They just jumped right in. However, if it was cleaning bathrooms, they would clean the bathrooms. So we're very thankful that God has blessed us with the staff that we currently have and staff that we've had in the past, but also for anybody who'd like to come on, we know that God has something special in store for us.
Absolutely. So that's Monday through Friday. And then, of course, you're doing that right now, too. You've got a summer day camp. And I think you have 79 this week.
Yes, we're finishing that up this week. This is our last week where we run it every summer for the last 4 or 5 years. Half-day summer camp where each week has a different theme, and we're taking it back old school with getting absolutely filthy dirty and sweating and having fun.
Oh, man, it's great. And I think now more than ever the kids needed it. They needed to get out, be around other kids.
Yes.
And, of course, we're cleaning, social distance, as best as we can, all that stuff.
And we're outside most of the time, so we don't have to worry about, staying inside and confined.
That's right.
God's been good to us this summer. We have had virtually no rain during camp.
Praise the Lord.
So that has been amazing, and we've been able to just get absolutely wild and crazy with these kids, and they range from toddlers all the way up through 5th grade, and we have something for everybody.
And you've had some middle schoolers and high schoolers helping with that, so again, it's just been a family affair. Literally all hands on deck, helping out, making it happen. So.
We try to carry on the whole harvest theology of family and keeping everybody together as much as possible and giving back. So our teens come in, they volunteer, After they volunteered a few years, they will step up and they'll start maybe getting a paid position unless they're wanting to do just the service hours for school or whatever it may be. And even kids who don't go to school or go to church here have been coming in and helping because they found out it's just a lot of fun.
That's right. It's really cool. So, man, that's enough right there to keep you busy. I mean, you talk about the Learning Center during the school year, Monday through Friday. You talk about the day camp during the summer, Monday through Friday.
Yes.
A lot would say, man, that's enough. But you have also helped out on Wednesday nights. You've helped out on Sunday mornings.
Yes.
And you've got an exciting role coming up in September where you're going to be more hands-on and helping shape our preschool department on Sunday mornings.
Yes.
And you need volunteers for that, too,
we can
right?
always use some good people who want to be in that classroom. It's going to be fun. It's going to be different. We're just super excited to jump on it and get it started, but we also know we have to kind of be prepared. So that's where they hold me back a little bit and keep me in check to not run with it right now. But
yeah, Dean's ready to build a whole new preschool wing. It's amazing. But people that are passionate, I mean, the main thing is we want people. This is a great opportunity to pour into our young people.
Yes.
Starting at, a lot of people don't think, 2, 3 years old, that's too early. It's really not.
It's not.
It's the perfect time. And we want people that are passionate about pouring into our young people at an early age.
Yes. I want, if you would have told me 5 or 6 years ago that 2-year-olds could tell you about the Bible, I would have said, maybe some. But if they're being taught the right way,
that's right.
They jump in and they eat it up, and now their minds are sponges and they're soaking it in. And we see it in the school. We see it in the elementary division on Wednesday nights when they're just spouting out verses to us left and right.
Yeah,
it's amazing to see what they can learn if we teach them right.
That's right. And then, of course, we're here today at the food bank, and you have been such a big part of making this thing continue on. When COVID came on the scene, so many of our volunteers, and really the heart of our food bank, had to step back just because of their age and some physical circumstances and things like that. But you jumped in right away and really took a lead in making sure things were prepped, ready to go, set up. Why was the food bank important for you to jump into and be a part of?
Well, being around Harvest enough, you see that there are a lot of needs that need to be met. Terry and Sarah Thornton, who head up the majority of our food bank, I knew that they were not going to be able to be around. And it was hurting them to not be able to be here. So for me, it was a way to almost give back to them, not knowing what I was getting into.
Yeah.
And then found out, wow, this is A, ton of work, and B, a lot of preparation, but C, the blessing. As I told you last week, I was able to step back out and give out tickets as the cars came through and just talking to them. And you forget that, what a blessing it is just to laugh and talk to these people as they're coming through and being able to share a little bit of life of Jesus with them. And I went off the rest of my day, on top of the world because I got to get back into it a little bit.
It's true. To be able to be hands-on, and it's one thing to hear about the food bank. It's another thing to be in the food bank and see faces that you see every week and people that you start to know their families. You start to know their cars. Tell me about new people, because this is the craziest thing to me. Tom was telling us, earlier about the young people that were coming, but we have new families and new people coming here. In fact, we've got a big group here this morning.
So we have a group today from BNI, business leaders in the community, and they're looking for different options of different places to volunteer every so often. They met Santiago through, one of them was his mortgage lender, and somehow he, of course, spread the word of our food bank, and so they're in here today helping out. We've had the teens like crazy coming in because they were out of school, and it gave them a little option of something to do and to see each other. But then we've had families that have come in, either they've heard about the food bank through the Learning Center and maybe not a big part of Harvest, or they've just come to Harvest, and Angela and her family, and they've jumped in full force with both feet, just trying to give back and see what everything that Harvest has to offer. And for those of you who don't know, it's a lot. From, the senior saints all the way down to the preschool, from the food bank all the way over to, just getting the building, when the basement flooded and everybody jumped into that. Harvest is just a family. And so when these people come in, it's our effort to make them part of our family.
That's right.
Whether they come to church here or not, give them a little bit of Jesus and let them know that we love them.
Well, we love you, and we appreciate everything you give to this church. And if you do want to help Deanne out, maybe it's the Learning Center, maybe it's in preschool, maybe it's the food bank, whatever it is, anything that Deanne shared her heart with you tonight, email her. Give them your email address again.
Yes, it's Deanne, DEANN, at hbclearningcenter.com.
Man, email Deanne. She's going to get you plugged in right away, and I know that you'll enjoy it. Thank you, Deanne.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you.
Thanks.
Man, so you thought we were kidding when we said multi-generational, and we had all ages out here working, but these are two of my favorite workers. You talk about dedicated. They're here every week, man. Really cool. So we got Cole here, who you come with. Who brings
Tom.
you? Tom. So his grandpa Tom brings him out here. And then we got Jake. Jake, who do you roll out here with? Your mom. So Jake's mom, Melissa, she's one of those that picks up food and takes them out there and brings it back here to the church, but she also kind of heads up one of our areas. Do you guys like working at the food bank? Yeah. What do you like about it, Jake? Yeah, doing the cakes. So one of Jake's jobs is we get all these sheet cakes and things from Food Line that are donated to us, and so you kind of head that up, right? You get the cakes and load it up and take it out to them. How about you, Cole? What do you like?
I like bagging the meat.
Yeah, what does that mean? What do you have to do when you bag up the meat?
Unbox the meat and then put it in a bag, tie it up, and put it back in the box.
Yep, and then we get it out to everybody. Are y'all surprised about how many people in our area need food? Isn't that crazy? Mm-hmm. Does that make you want to go home and eat all your vegetables? No, not. You feel bad, but you're not that bad, right? That you're going to have to do that.
I'll eat fruit.
Yeah. Well, is it fun coming out here with Tom?
Yeah.
You guys load up the cardboard too and take it off, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. And then you help your mom pick up the food from Food Line and things like that. Mm-hmm. It's very cool. So, look, man, it's not just adults out here doing the work. You got guys like this, and there are more teenagers and things like that coming out. So, you see these two, pat them on the back, let them know you're proud of them, all right? I want to introduce you to somebody. It's been an interesting season here at the church with new faces and having new families come and join in it. And this is Angela Stark. And, man, my first introduction to Angela was when we had our picnic time on a Sunday night over here behind the playground, and you and your family came out, and man, y'all were just in everything. We were playing some of the different games over there. I remember y'all had pizza because I was very jealous that y'all had pizza and were eating it. And since then, man, y'all have just been in the middle of everything. I mean, you just been here. Tell everybody, first of all, how did you hear about Harvest? How did you come to Harvest?
Well, I'm actually new to the area, so I went on the Nextdoor app and I just threw it out there and I was like, hey, I'm new to the area and I need some ideas of some awesome churches to check out, and I had a large number of people respond. I personally am an organizer, so I created a list and wrote down who was open, who wasn't open, their hours and everything, because I'm a little OCD. And this was like number 2 on my list after going through and watching videos and just being led, like, I think this would be good for me. So I checked it out, and honestly, after hearing Pastor Larry's first message, I was like, this is it. And then meeting everybody and going to the cookout, and just everybody was wonderful and they were welcoming. The youth group is huge, and I have 2 youth teenagers, so they were so welcoming, genuine, sincere. It was just full of love, and the more I was around these people, the more I wanted to be here and help. And I'm a server anyway. I like to serve, which is why my kids and I have chosen to get plugged in soon, like now, and we just help out and meet more wonderful people.
Yeah, it's been awesome, man. And look, she's not lying when she says that they serve. I mean, you've jumped right in with the children's ministry. I know you've gone into the Zoom room. You do a lot of the pictures and things in there with Dave and helping there. But you've been out here, and your kids have been out here.
Yeah.
You've been in this food bank really since you guys started coming.
Yeah.
What is it about the food bank? Why be a part of that?
The team is great. I was actually drawn because I am a servant. I was drawn to the church because of the food bank, the outreach to the community, y'all wanting to help those that are in need. And a lot of people don't feel comfortable coming to church, whatnot. So the food bank allows us to provide food to those that are in need and also address the spiritual side of needs. We pray over them. We ask them, what can we do for you? And that really, it just screams, it lets them know that they're loved, that they're thought about. And I just wanted to be a part of that team.
Yeah, well, and you've been a blessing. And you've been out here. Your kids have been out here. You've been out here. And it's just so neat to see that in a season when, a lot of churches have to shut down. They don't have any choices in it. But we've been blessed with not only being able to be open, to connect online, but still to reach out and connect with our community. And to see people being drawn to that. We are thrilled to have you and your family here. Thank you for being a part of it. I knew you guys would want to meet Angela. When you see her Sunday, make sure you say hey to her, all right?
I'll say hey to you anyway. So.
All right, thank you. A few times, but one of the coolest parts of the food bank during this season has been seeing different families coming and serving together. And this is Carrie Melton. Brad and Carrie, again, no strangers to the Harvest family. But you guys have pretty much been here the whole COVID season, I guess, from the time things shut down through the heart of the summer. You guys have been out here and been helping. And it's been a family affair for you guys, right? I mean, it's been your girls, you and Brad out here together. Why the family? Why do it as a family? What's been important to you and Brad to have your girls out here and be a part of it?
Well, to be honest, it's been such a blessing because we've talked a lot about finding ways for the girls to serve and see firsthand helping others. And when COVID hit, this was a perfect time to jump right in and get everybody involved. And it's been a great thing for our family.
It's been really cool. And how have you seen it impact your girls? Have you had conversations behind the scenes? Have they really gotten a sense of what's going on?
Absolutely. You try to teach them to be grateful and thankful for what they have, but seeing it firsthand and then seeing how a simple smile or a gesture, rolling a card out there to give someone food, how it makes a difference is really, the girls have really enjoyed getting to be a part of that and seeing that firsthand.
Yeah, and for parents, it's everything, right?
Absolutely.
Because we tell them all the time, don't do this. Why? Because we said so, But to be able to say, look, we're going to love on our community, and there's a need for it, but for them to see faces, to lock eyes, to load people's cars up, I mean, that does something to their heart, I think, that just really sets the tone.
Absolutely.
Now, you haven't limited yourself just to here on campus. You and Brad, y'all have such a strong reach with both of you being in the school system and working with other families and students and things like that. You've come and loaded up your car before and delivered groceries to families in need that couldn't make their way out here. Tell us about that experience. What's that been like?
It's been amazing. The families are so grateful and so thankful. Like you said, some have transportation issues. Something as simple as jumping in your car and driving, it seems so simple to a lot of us, but to see the smiles on their faces and the gratitude that they've showed for simple necessities that we take for granted has been really, really awesome. And like you say, it makes you want to do more and more and more.
It does. And it's funny because like my kids will come out here and serve, and sometimes they'll look at things in the grocery bag and be like, ooh, they're not going to want that. But have you ever seen somebody been like, nah, I don't want that? Or usually they're blown away, right, by everything. I mean, we'll have sheet cakes that we'll put in there that Food Line donates, and it's like, really, a cake? But people love it.
Exactly.
I mean, food is food, man.
Exactly.
Well, you guys have been awesome. Your family's been awesome. And I just wanted people at Harvest to know what you guys are doing and how you're a part of our food ministry, and we appreciate you.
Thank you. It's been a blessing.
For this one. We've had so many of our people sharing with you from inside the lighthouse, but we have just as much going on outside the lighthouse. Santiago, many of you know him, some of you don't, but you do a lot around here at Harvest. I know on Sundays you do our translations, you go up and record that up in the Crow's Nest, and of course you've got Pathway Ministries and so many other things, but you've been a big part of our new wave of people coming through here in the food bank serving. Quickly, what is it that you do here at the food bank?
We help with the prayer team. Basically, we take a group of people that are willing to come and pray, especially to be very compassionate and pray with the people that comes in.
Yeah, and you know, we used to do that hands-on inside. Of course, we can't do that hands-on anymore. So what does that look like? How do you pray with those guys?
The same, show them compassion, talk to them about prayer requests. You hear many stories about their situations, their circumstances, and there are times that they share their own personal problems of family illnesses, and we get to pray personally with them also about them.
Yeah, and so we line them up in the parking lot, as you can see here behind us, and literally we just go car to car, and we just ask, how often do you get people to say, nah, I don't want you to pray?
Lately, in the last few weeks, none. At the beginning, every now and then, we have probably from 100 cars, we will have probably 2, but recently none. All of them want for us to pray for them.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, you would think that some people would be standoffish against it, but people are hurting. And, you know, people, just like they need food, they need all the help they can get, really. So if somebody's offering to pray, that's big. The theme that we've heard throughout these interviews has been families serving together and really our younger people joining in. Why don't you just share a little bit about maybe some of the younger people that's come out and help you in the prayer line?
Yeah, it's been one of the most beautiful experiences here in our church particularly is to see young people coming and be part with the adults of all this activity, from setting up the food to even praying with us. Right now we have one young man also helping us in praying with our team, a young girl, your daughter, also praying and helping us. So yeah, it's been such a blessing to have them on board with everything else.
And Pastor Annabelle's been a part of that. We're blessed to have people that can speak Spanish, so we've really been able to communicate with everybody that's come through. And we just appreciate what you do, man. Thank you for being a part of that. You guys see Santiago this week. Make sure you thank him for helping us out at the food bank. All right, man. So listen, we are here with really the heart and soul of this food bank ministry, and he hates it. I'm even saying that. Tom Garrett had to wrestle him to get him over here and sit him down in the video camera, because he would just honestly rather be behind the scenes doing his stuff, working and serving. But Terry Thornton, him and his wife Sarah have been a part of this food bank ministry for, man, how many years have y'all worked in the food bank ministry?
10 years.
10 years. And you came out here with Alan Philgo, right? When Alan was out here serving and leading it, and was blessed with the opportunity when Alan left to take it over and kind of run the thing.
Right. I kind of inherited it.
You inherited it. That's right. That's exactly right. So you're one of the few who was here before COVID and now has seen this thing kind of transform through COVID,
right,
and to where we are now. How's that been to just watch it go from, you had such a tight-knit group of people that served in this food bank ministry before COVID hit. And, you know, it wasn't because they don't want to be here right now. They just can't be here.
Right. And most of them are compromised.
That's right. That's exactly right. So how's it been to see that transition from one group to another here during this season?
Well, the process is a whole lot different. We used to have everybody come in to this building, and we'd log them in, and we'd pray with them. And we was able to hold our hands and really pray with them, you know. And with this process, it's a little different because, you know, we can't get close together. And, you know, they go through the car line, and they pray for them outside, naturally. But it just doesn't seem the same because it's not, you don't bond with them.
Personal.
Right.
We've really lost that personal touch that we've had with them. And that's probably been the biggest difference of the whole thing. We haven't dropped any. I mean, shoot, we've got more families now ever that need it. But we've definitely had to be creative in how we meet those needs, physical and spiritual.
Right.
But we had a lot of new people jump in.
We had a lot of helpers, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We've it's just completely different group.
It is, and it's widespread. And you've seen from the different testimonies so far tonight, we've had families coming together. I mean, parents and kids serving together, grandparents and kids.
That's the deal, you know. We figured, oh my goodness, you know, different people, but it gives the younger people, the teenagers, and Stephen's doing a grand job with them, and they're able to serve the Lord.
And that's cool, right? I mean, like with Harvest, multi-generational, I mean, that's our heartbeat, is to literally pass on from one generation to the next Christ. And there's no better way to do it than hands-on.
And anytime Cole wants to be the runner of this, he's welcome.
Yeah, Cole, I'm telling you, I think he would take over now if we let him. Well, look, man, more than anything, Terry, we just want to say thank you. Thank you for being a part of it. It's hard, I know, especially to watch something go from being set and rolling and having to shift and change. New faces come in, but you guys have rolled with it. Sarah is helping behind the scenes. You know, she can't be out here, and I know she desperately wants to be out here, and so many more of the team. I don't want to start naming names, but it's such a great team that couldn't be here, and we're just encouraged. We really feel like we're standing in the gap. We're not taking a ministry over. We're not, you know, we feel like there's going to be a season when it comes back and we're able to do what we did, and that original team is going to have an opportunity to come back and serve and be a part of it. But until then, we stand the gap, and we're thrilled to do it. We're thankful for you.
We appreciate it.
Absolutely.